Well, I want to, first of all, welcome you to a new semester, a new year here at CMC. And to start with, I just want to tell you how glad I am to be here and excited to serve you as your president. It's been kind of a lifelong dream of mine for the last 20 years as I've worked with about 30 some other community colleges to find one that I could serve as their leader. And so this is a dream come true. Also, thank you, all of you that I've met so far, so much for a great welcome for myself as well as for my wife. We deeply appreciate it. I want to spend some time thinking about, going back to a metaphor I've used with some of you before. Some of you probably know about the very famous story about the Wizard of Oz, and I've mentioned this before. And of course, Dorothy finds herself in need of getting home. And I think of our students, our goal with them is to help them create a better future, and in that way, kind of get them home. And so we're on that trail. And about the first 5 or 6 weeks that I've been here as president, we're certainly on that trail, and we will need to have those, that intelligence, those brains, and that heart, and that courage to serve our students very, very well. I want to, first of all, kind of start off with talking to you a little bit about some restructuring that's starting to take place and why that is, and that'll be the why, and kind of some follow-up to that will be in the second part of the YouTube presentation. Back on July 1st, my first day here, we started with a board retreat, and at that board retreat, 3 things became very prominent as far as the board as well as all the leadership that was there that we needed to work on. One was the organizational structure and improving that so we can better serve you as stakeholders and employees as well as our students. A second thing was improving staff recruitment and retention and those kind of things, and we will be addressing those things this fall as we start 9 or 10 process improvement teams in September. And so we have a number of those already focused, and we'll be recruiting team members for that soon. A third one is just communication college-wide, trying to get better communication and better engagement of everybody and kind of eliminating the silos between all of our different sites and different campuses. So we'll be working on that as well all the time. Let me turn my attention to the first phase, really, of the restructure. You should have received an email blast with a page that I'll be referring to and a kind of a diagram. That may help you. We won't show that probably on this YouTube, but you can refer to that, and if you can imagine it as well. It's not that complicated, but it's just an organizational chart. And phase 1 is kind of reorganizing some of the top leadership, and also I'll be dealing with some of the changes as far as titles. Of course, technically my title is President and CEO of Colorado Mountain College. And then, of course, serving me on a day-to-day basis is my executive assistant, and Debbie Novak, and I appreciate her a great deal. We are also going to have reporting to me 17 other people, which is a lot of people. I recognize that, but it won't last forever, and probably just the first year or so. And then I'll need to become, because of the pressures of the job, more and more an external president, and really serving you in that way more and more. But it'll help me to have this structure at the beginning so I can get to know the college better and get to know you and other top leaders here and what they do in a fast and more complete way. We already have one executive VP, and we'll continue to have Lynn Stickler as an executive VP, and she'll be executive VP of operations and innovative strategies. She'll have less people reporting to her because I'll have some of those people reporting to me. That'll free her up to take on some new initiatives that'll help us propel this college into becoming a premier college, even more so than we are today. We will have a second executive VP, and no one at this point is reporting to her, but she will be helping me a great deal, and her title is the Executive VP of College Innovations and College Initiatives and Innovation, and that's Nancy Genova. I appreciate her already a great deal, as well as Lynn, and they have different strengths, and I think she'll serve in, again, helping us initiate some new innovative strategies and serving the campuses, whoever wants her help and her service, to be able to help them. We're going to have, of course, 3 or 4 brand new campus deans, so that'll help. She'll be able to help them as well as me. Then if you drop down to the next line, there are a number of VPs and a number of what we call chiefs, and those will be equal, VPs and chiefs, but the different names because of maybe kind of the business side of the house and kind of the academic side of the house. One exception to that is that's going to be reporting to me is Deb Crawford, and her title is the same as far as Public Information Officer, but I think that's an extremely important part of shaping the image of our college and continuing to be transparent to local media and those kind of things, so she's there. We will, let me turn my attention to what we now know as campus deans. And their role is going to remain essentially the same. They kind of head up those sites and those campuses. But their new title will be Vice President of Colorado Mountain College and then CEO of their particular campus. So it'll be Vice President of Colorado Mountain College and CEO of Timberline campus, for instance. And I think that will give them the right kind of title in their community. They're the chief executive officer for that particular site or that particular campus, but they are tied in certainly very directly to Colorado Mountain College as a vice president. And they'll be reporting to me as they already had been. We have a couple of 3 new vice presidents, and one of them will be vice president of student affairs, and that's Brad Bankhead, and he is already performing that role really with a little different title now, but very widely accepted kind of title in higher education as vice president of student affairs. Another one is also very widely used in higher education is vice president of academic affairs, and that's Ann Harris. And she's doing a great job and will continue to perform that role. Another vice president that will be a part of probably maybe a distinctive of my leadership as president is for the whole area of institutional effectiveness. And so it's Vice President of Institutional Effectiveness, Dr. Mito Goel. And I've advised other presidents to bring that role more front and center in their colleges, and they have done so in many cases. And so I'm following my own advice. And so she will be continuing to her role as AQIP and getting us accreditation, helping us with that. She'll be helping me a great deal with the training of the teams, the constant improvement teams, and many other initiatives where we need new data and very good and consistent data to make better decisions. Back to Nancy Genova, she will also be helping me with the training of teams. And so in that way, really fulfilling her role as a strategic leader, because those teams will be working on strategic initiatives and a part of filling out and living out the strategic plan.